People coming out of incarceration, they've got something to prove. I want to prove that I'm okay. I just need the opportunity to do it. I was one of those women who worked in that call center, and I came out of prison and I had a real career opportunity with the company. So I started the Televerde Foundation with a radical idea that was to give women in prison real jobs, training, and education while building a profitable business. And then in turn, empowering the women to get out of prison and build meaningful careers.
Welcome to the Academy on Capitalism's YouTube channel. Today we'll be talking with Michelle Cirocco, CEO and founder of the Televerde Foundation. If you like the video, please make sure to hit like, hit subscribe, because we have a lot of great videos coming out and I don't think you'd want to miss them. And after that, please check out the comments, because we will certainly have links to important bits from this conversation in those comments. Michelle, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Yeah, let's get down to it here. So with the Televerde Foundation, you work with presently and formerly incarcerated women, right?
Correct.
So one of the questions I imagine you have to deal with, and I want to ask, is why and when should employers consider employing currently or formerly incarcerated women?
Well, that is such a loaded question for me to answer.
Oh, okay.
So I think that what really comes to my mind when somebody asks me that question is this idea of, would you want to be judged for the rest of your life based on the worst decisions you made on the worst days of your life? And, typically the answer is no, I would not, right? And unfortunately, we live in a society where that is what this idea of not employing somebody who is formerly incarcerated consists of. It says, you made a mistake in your life and you will be forever branded and excluded from opportunities because of that. And so I think that's where we really miss the mark. If somebody has made a mistake and they have whatever their consequences were, whether it was incarceration or something else, and they went and they served their time and they come back in their community, they should be allowed to return to our community fully restored, with an expectation that they are as good as or better than they were when they left us. Because if we don't provide opportunities for people to become gainfully employed when they come back into our community, then we do not provide opportunities for them to reintegrate into our communities. And that is what perpetuates the cycle of poverty and recidivism and a wide variety of things. So to answer your question specifically is, I don't think employers should be taking somebody's criminal record into consideration. I think that we should ban the box. We should eliminate this concept of you need to disclose, and people should hire based on talent and not on history.
No, thank you. Yes, because that addresses very much, we're talking about a free market system. Mm-hmm. Entrepreneurs, we know, fail all the time, go bankrupt, start again. Mm-hmm. We don't hold that, we don't stigmatize them and say, oh, you're the bankrupt failure. Yep, you're trying and you're trying to do your best, and you know what? Yeah. So are other people. Yeah. And we extend the same type of thinking to them. Yeah,
one of my favorite things is to say, it should be okay to say the F word.
Yeah.
I failed. I picked myself up and I moved forward. And I think from an employer, obviously that's very kind of grandiose way of looking at things from my chair, but employers need to think about, you need qualified talent. You need dedicated and loyal people. And I can tell you from experience, the only thing worse than going to prison is actually having to tell somebody that you've been there. And so when somebody gives you an opportunity, somebody takes a chance on you, there's a dedication, there's a loyalty, there's a determination to prove, right? I think that's one of the things is people coming out of incarceration, they've got something to prove. I want to prove that I'm okay. I just need the opportunity to do it. And so As an employer, when done right, you get a highly dedicated, loyal, committed workforce.
And as sort of rounding out, fighting the stigma, because it's wrong to stigmatize people like that, but also recognizing internal motivation of people coming out and want to do good, want to work, want to prove themselves, as you said, even redeem themselves. But furthermore, with the Televerde Foundation, you don't just hope that happens. No. You actually have programs.
Yes.
And in fact, you have developed these educational paths. One is a reentry program path, and the other is the path to professionalism. And I looked at these, and I was thinking, I think my students could use these too, right? This isn't just for, this looks like really amazing. So one of the questions I'm just dying, how did you or the Televerde Foundation determine the content of these courses? Was it through talking to business? Was it studies?
Yeah.
Was it personal experience? How did you arrive at that?
Candidly, like all of the above. But since we're talking about free market system and the power of business in my opinion, the power of business in making our world a better place, it stems from that. So Televerde, the for-profit business, was started with a radical idea and that was to give women in prison real jobs, training, and education while building a profitable business. And then in turn, empowering the women to get out of prison and build meaningful careers. And so from that experience, which is my own experience, I was one of those women who worked in that call center, and I came out of prison and I had a real career opportunity with the company. And so that's where it started. So after 25 years of success, and thousands of women having worked for the company while they were incarcerated and coming back into the community to build careers, I started the foundation based on the idea that if we could do it for hundreds of people through the company, maybe we could do it for thousands of people through a workforce development training program. And so the curriculum is based on 25 years of working inside the prison and helping people build careers and knowing what works. And it includes all the things that you need to be successful in business acumen, business communications, time management, critical thinking, and professional skills and certifications. Things for in-demand jobs today, customer service, inside sales, IT help desk, even some professional skilled trades, because not everybody wants to work at a desk. Some people want to use their hands. But that's just the job skills. And so one of the things that we learned is that there's actually a lot more to success than just the hard skills, right? A lot of it is those essential skills. And so everything is based on this concept of self-efficacy. And it includes things like emotional intelligence and making good decisions and healthy relationships and really building out that confidence in yourself and your ability to be successful. And then pairing that with the hard skills and then providing the wraparound supports and services for them to come home and be successful.
No, and why I asked that and wanted to hear more about that is, I teach at a business college, and universities can have this idea that all the ideas should start up here and then we'll teach you. But I'm enthralled with the idea that you learn in the trenches. And what you're explaining now is what you've learned and tested and grown organically from experience in the business. That's what's the foundation of this, and that's why it's successful.
Yeah.
And I think more professors need to hear that too.
Yeah.
But if we were going to go theory, I'd say it's very Hayekian, but we don't need to go there. It's amazing. So you've kind of alluded to this, but I just kind of want to pull it out for, we're the Academy on Capitalism. Yeah. Do you find that capitalism or the free enterprise system in general is or is not a system that's been suited to actually giving people second chances?
Well, I think that historically it was not, right? I think historically the fact that businesses were not on board with this is one of the reasons why we have such high recidivism rates, right? In our country, 60+% of people will go back to prison within 3 years of release. And the primary predictors of recidivism is joblessness and low income. And the unemployment rate for somebody with a criminal record is 5 times the national average. So just that alone tells you that businesses have not been on board. But there has been a huge movement in our country at the highest levels of some of the largest organizations in the country to change that, because we have critical needs for talent, right? Huge talent demands, skilled talent, motivated talent, loyal talent, and just bodies in general. I mean, let's be honest,
people who
right?
work, yeah.
Yeah, and so, you know, businesses started to realize, hey, we're sitting on an untapped talent pool. There are 600,000 people who get out of prison every year, and they all want an opportunity to rebuild their lives. And so, you know, like I said, biggest companies, Jamie Dimon, JP Morgan and Chase, has led the charge on fair chance hiring movement. The Business Roundtable has tapped in and said businesses need to get involved in doing this. So I would say in, you know, the 25 plus years that I've been doing this, the world has become a kinder, gentler place, right? 6 years ago, 8 years ago, when I first started speaking publicly about it, the conversation was about ban the box. Well, it's not about ban the box anymore. We've largely moved beyond that, and we've moved to fair chance hiring and utilizing background checks to just check for what matters, right? What matters relative to the job that you're employing people for. Delaying background checks until based on a conditional offer. So hiring for talent and for cultural fit, and organizations, you know, really looking at how do I tap into this talent pool in a meaningful way. So.
Wow, and I'm sorry, well, what came to mind, I mean, sometimes people think words like capitalism are just one thing, and it's eternally that's the definition. But we do know that the business world, if we go back far enough, wasn't even in favor of first chances. Right. When we look at women and minorities in the workforce at a certain point. But it evolved, sometimes willingly, sometimes took some laws. Now we're in, it looks like another phase where we're really looking at maybe holding true to those principles, also hiring according to the talents. If you're in business, do business, hire for business, and try to filter the noise out. No, I think that's amazing. And by your reports, it looks like we're making headway.
Yeah. I think the Televerde, like I said, was founded in the 90s when nobody talked about purpose beyond profit or any of that stuff. We didn't even have words for the idea of what we were doing. And now this whole concept of business is a force for good, right? I am a Arizona State University W.P. Carey alumni, and and that is our mantra, right? Is business is personal, and business is a force for good. And so I am a huge believer in that through good and meaningful capitalism, we can make this world a better place.
And you are. Well, thank you very much. Yeah. Thank you for sharing your thoughts and sharing your work.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Please check the links below. We will have links to the Televerde Foundation. And have a good day, and check out our other videos on YouTube. Thank you.